Theoretically, an even much more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. Interview. The Actor. Part 1. Hi, my name is Jorge Villacorta. I am one of the actors in Theoretically, a paranoid conspiratorial phone call. Also in Theoretically, uh, even more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. And finally, in this movie, which is an even much more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. There is an evolution in the title that is showing us that the three are sort of a franchise. Very important one, I feel extremely honored of being in these movies, written and directed by and edited by talented people. And behind these movies there is a team that is creating a very distinctive filmmaking style. My participation has helped them in a way, and I feel proud of this collaboration with these talented people. Well, now let's talk about my participation in theoretically, and even much more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. Remember that title, theoretically, and even much more paranoid conspiratorial phone call. Well, what a challenge! Really, really demanding role due to the background of the character. You know, this character is what you would call an intelligence officer. He's in contact with futuristic technology that allows him to travel to the future and has experiences there. Due to the fact that I already participated in theoretically a paranoid conspiratorial phone call, theoretically I'm more paranoid conspiratorial phone call, I already had created a background for this character. But you know, this is a very interesting process because the background that you define for one project is not the same as the background you have to create for another project, because these movies show different aspects of the same character. Well, you know, serial narrative is usually like that. You go deeper and deeper into the character's soul up to the point when you create a more complex map of that character. So, in this particular case, I began to study a bit more about the Soviet Union, because I wanted to understand what kind of people the protagonist, the boss, was facing in this film. But the interesting thing is that how do you study people who are hypothetical? Because the Soviet Union in the year 2121 doesn't exist for us. So we need to project what we know to understand what's going on. One of the possibilities would be to use a simulation chamber, a computer with a simulated reality, and project the variables along the time to see what happened in the year 2121. Well, but you may think that's impossible, that doesn't exist, nobody uses that. As an actor, well, I don't want to disappoint you suggesting that we are digital beings controlled by an artificial intelligence. Now, I won't tell you that. But I'll tell you, I will be a more traditional actor. And I will tell you that it's not necessary at all to study or to understand where you're going or what you are doing, because being an organic actor, I'm not a actor, a virtual actor. Okay, being an organic actor implies that you have organic reactions, and if you are placed in a threatening environment, you will have a number of reactions, organic reactions, that correspond to your perception of the situation. But of course, the perception of the situation is socially conditioned. So, if you're an actor, an organic actor, and you're placed in a social position that you consider threatening, you will begin to react to that, even without having to with, without needing to start to studying anything. You don't need to study anything in order to feel the fear that particular environments induces in your body. So the main tool an actor has is his body. Apparently, because this body corresponds to a social position. In fact, the actors that are used to represent different social positions and different ages belong to that social position, or are accepted by that social position that pays for tickets. So my point is that the actors are already conditioned to satisfy particular needs. Not because they are good actors or bad actors, but because they belong to a particular social position and have acquired those characteristics. You may think, but then their talent is not important. I would say not at all. Of course, if you can memorize the script and you can recite it in a way that pleases your audience, you don't need any talent. The main point is that you exist, your natural, so your socially assumed as natural posture, your behavior must be accepted by your audience previously. So, since the beginning, you know if a movie is going to please or not a particular audience, because those mainstream productions are made for people who have the same taste. It's a very reduced place. It's a very reduced segment that already have a taste.